Good evening and welcome to the PGS podcast with your boy Zak, aka Zak Pedrinho, and got Cozy in the background hooking me up with the live center. How we all doing? Hope we're well. Just a recap, I want to thank our last guest from our last show, which was just 2 weeks ago now. Umar, my guy Umar, our foot coach, and James, winner of the PS5 tournament. Right, so it's been a busy week and we've got a lot to catch up on, and we've got a guest today. He has been there before. Someone that you all know very well. We're going to be talking about some really serious issues. I think what we decided to do is really reel it back in and bring this show in accordance with the community. So the community are asking for us to talk about some more sort of everyday issues that we go through. Mental health is a big one, and in line with that, sorry, we the PGS have now partnered up with Bullies Out, who we have got to say it's a fantastic partnership. And Bullies Out are doing great work out there. Formed in 2006, and they're a voluntary organization, charitable organization, and helping every organization and individuals, trying to kick bullies out, basically. So it's an anti-bully organization, and we're looking forward to hearing more about them, and hopefully gets one or two of them on our show. But just some more recaps. I want to talk about some of the tournaments that we've actually had on the PGS platform in the last couple of weeks. Right. So the last tournament we had was I'm going to read them off. So if you don't mind, my eyes are going to be going in and out of screen. So Sunday the 12th of June, we had the Real Foot Card PS4 tourney, and the winner of that one was Owen Mulligan 14. Congrats, brother. And on Thursday the 16th, we had the Controller Mod sponsored PS5 tournament, and the winner of that tournament was Cole Han Hobb. And I'm hoping that I actually got your name pronounced right. If I haven't, I do apologize, my bro. And do you know what? Fantastically enough, we had 58 entrants. So I want to thank all our members, all non-members who literally just guest appeared. Now, everyone that's actually got involved, want to thank you very much for your support. And there are so many more tournaments upcoming. Just reading them off. So the 23rd of June, which was last Thursday, we had a 2v2 comp. I really wanted to enter that competition, but I realized I needed the comp badge, and I don't have that. So next year, maybe. That's a PS5, and the winners were Many 98 and Hearty XL7. And on Saturday, we had an Xbox One tournament. I believe that was the first tournament of its kind. So congratulations to Cozy and his clan for sorting that one out. And the winner of that tournament was Cav7. So well done, guys. Congratulations. By the way, the Real Foot Card sponsored tourney, I just want to mention, big up to the Real Foot Card, big up to Control and Master sponsoring our tournaments. We are very grateful. Right, so I want to kick on with our show today, and we decided to bring back someone that actually used to co-host the show with me. This gent needs no introduction. He's an experienced member of the esports gaming world, and I play for one of his teams, or the only team, Team Street. So without further ado, the man, the legend, the myth himself, Billy, aka B2K Team Street. Welcome to the show again, brother. How you doing? Is he gonna come onto the show? Here he is. He's there.
Hey.
Technical glitch.
Hello, mate.
Hey, brother, you all right?
Yeah, wonderful, mate. Wonderful.
So this is I'm that excited. My lips are dry, so I've decided to just lick my lips and get rid of all the embarrassment. So this is a world away from when we started doing this from an audio perspective, and now we are on air visually. Everyone can say, "Oh, ugly mugs." Come on, get in. But listen, thanks for taking the time out, brother. I really appreciate it. Right. So without further ado, Team Street, man, we are back. What's going on?
Absolutely. We had a lot of issues that were hard for me to sort out. I don't come home very often, Monday to Friday. So as you know, we had a FLC midweek team and a FLC weekend team. Let's just say it felt like two different teams. I mean, I used to watch the stream every evening when you guys were playing, and it was like two different teams. And my inbox was was a tad mental with displeased members of the team, shall we say?
I'm sure.
So what I've decided to do, I've decided to step back. So what was it? About 2-3 weeks we were out, and I had a real rethink. And I think that we either had to sort of go total football stage where there's 100+ members, I think, now in their Discord, or what I've chosen to do is go smaller. So I've got my close knit 15. Unfortunately, we've lost 2, so we're down to 13 now. But that close knit team, we know there's going to be no toxic. We know that people are going to listen. We know people are, you know, it is just simple, basic, close knit bunch of friends.
Sure.
Playing FIFA.
Excellent. I mean, the intimate bunch. I mean, that's kind of how it started initially, wasn't it? And we started, and then obviously we wanted a challenge. Why? We wanted a challenge and decided to jump on the PGS platform. I think, you know, sort of just hearing you talk about obviously the reasons why it didn't work the first time around. I'll be honest with you, it was a good innings. We had a good innings because we started. Well, you started the club up. Was it a year we celebrated the anniversary, or was it a few months back? Yeah. So I mean, you know, it was a long ride. What I will say is that I think within a myriad of servers, what you have is you have a commanding voice, an authoritarian, which obviously you are and you were, and then you have that somebody that just gets along with everyone. But then when it gets to a point where, you know, they need to become serious, it's difficult to garner the same thoughts across. So I remember I always used to complain. I don't mind making it public that, you know, Billy, your voice is a unison voice. So everybody is commanding. So everyone basically listens and does what you say. Not to say that I didn't have that authority. It's just a different dynamic. This is your club. So trying to push it on and manage it, yes, there are going to be differences because people maybe tend to do, you know, a bit more lackadaisy stuff when it's me. And then when it's you, everyone kind of just sticks focus. So, but I understand the frustrations. I mean, for all the other managers out there that are potentially going through this when they have a cold, you know, do you believe that the management style should differ? Or do you believe that everyone should just follow? It doesn't matter who's managing on the day. Say you can't actually take play, you can't take up the mental piece. I mean, you know, should it change? You know, and if it does change, then what's the point of having a coal or myriad of coals? I guess is the question.
Yeah, I think people just got too comfortable. I mean, we used to put the availability out on I can't think, was it Sunday or something for the whole week?
Yes.
And I think people saw that there was sort of only like I think it was like a squad of 25 to 30, I think, and every day there was only like 11 ticks, especially for midweek. Midweek is where we struggled. We started really well in FLC weekend. But yes, there was something about it, and I saw people coming in late. I saw people, they were just too comfortable. It was like it was an easy run. It was like having a substitute teacher, wasn't it? You know when you used to get a substitute teacher and you used to take the absolute mick. You know what I mean? That's how it felt to me when I was watching.
Yeah.
Which wasn't great, but then again, as I say, when you have a great big squad like that, you are going to have individuals that just think they can come in whenever they want, do what they want. It's a lot harder to sort of manage, especially when you're only getting 11 ticks and things like that.
Exactly.
But now we have one day, one team, 15 people. There's a lot more respect.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just to sort of reel that back. I mean, now, so what was the breaking point then? The first time. I mean, so you and I have discussed about our various mental health issues, and how we, you know, combat them, how we deal with them, and how we get over those obstacles. But what was the breaking point for you to say, you know what, I've had enough, I'm going to take a break? Because that was a big decision to make, because it was final. There wasn't any coming back.
It was that last day of games where I was sitting there watching, and I had 5 different people messaging me in my inbox, and this was before the games were even finished.
Right.
Why is this person here? Why is this person there? Why is it? It was madness, and I felt like I couldn't. I mean, I'm a lorry driver, and I get up at 4 a.m. and these games were finishing like I don't know, what was it, 10:30? I can't remember what FLC times were. And I was just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Because clearly it's either a real lack of respect for you running it,
sure,
or a real lack of respect for both of us. These people turning up at 2 minutes or whatever to game time and things like that. It was just madness. And I thought, why am I doing this for these 25, 30 people?
Yeah.
When they can't even turn up on time.
That's the thing. So, I mean, yeah, sorry, go on.
No, you put all the effort in, you do the social media, you do the TikTok videos, you do the graphics, you put there's a lot of time you put into it. For people to turn around and do that, it's a mood killer, and
It
it
is.
just drags you down.
It is. It is. I think that's where. I mean, not to say it's good or bad. I think that's where you and I differ. I used to take a personal offense to those things, and I remember we used to complain to you all the time. We're like, Billy, man, what's going on? I mean, 7 is 7, bro. I mean, this guy's turning up at 15 past 7. I said, I don't understand it, and what I don't want to do is I don't want to get to a point where there's potential bullying happening, where I'm forcing people to heed what we're trying to say, and it, it's. I think what it boiled down to, Billy, is nobody's forced anyone to join what we're trying to do.
No.
We've put up a big novel, we're saying our intentions, and just turn up. And I think I think this particular program, this subject matter is important because you have suffered mental health issues badly, and you're trying to. What you're doing is you're giving off of yourself to strangers who just don't care. So I guess moving on then, dealing with that and that journey. So you took some time out. We were still speaking, obviously. We're never going to stop speaking because we've become friends over this. So we were still having yeah, it's never going to happen. I'm sorry. And then you started talking about, and obviously we decided to go, and join other clubs and see how that went. I mean, Billy, talk to me about that journey, because that's part and parcel of why we're here today.
At the end of the day, we come on the clubs to chill, to have fun, and win games. That is the three simple things. And I joined some of these clubs, especially these bigger ones with 100+ people in. It's nuts. It is. I don't understand the enjoyment.
Yeah,
I can't get through it. And then people trying to you say you give them 3 positions. I always give CDM, CB, GK. And then it's like, can you play left mid?
I don't mean to laugh, but yeah.
It's
a running joke. It's a running joke with us, isn't it?
But I can't play wide. If anybody's ever seen me play wide, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right? But I can't play wide. I don't know why. Just can't get my head around it.
Yeah.
But and then it's things like that. And then you've got other people literally in voice chat laying into people that have just joined their club, just learning the way they play, and they are laying into them in game chat. And I'm just like,
oh, welcome to the club.
it's but it's the people there that have been there a while, so it's almost like bullying.
Yeah,
it's so close to bullying, and it's so wrong. People calling them rubbish, but obviously using a different word.
Sure.
Just straight out. Just straight out. Just go, yeah, you're
exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't at all. I mean, obviously, we've played for a couple. I just think the transition was difficult. I don't mind admitting it, because I think but then I love the challenge, because but given a fair chance isn't readily accessible to someone joining. When you're joining these clubs who have got the same members, they've been there from Kingdom till Kingdom Come, so it's just difficult. But I guess for me, it was good to experience other servers, to really appreciate what it is that was built at Team Sweet. Now, appreciate we didn't necessarily win every single medal going, but from a sort of a chemistry point of view, we all got on very well. I mean, we outside of pro clubs. So I guess moving on to the next bit is, and I want to come back to the community in terms of that bullying aspect, because I know you and I have witnessed quite a few things, especially recent weeks. And me, I lead passionate. I'm quite emotional, so I'll just go in there. But anything messy, I'm like, who did it? What's going on?
Where me, I'll just drop straight into the manager's DMs and say, "Are you mad?"
So that little combination works nicely. Good cop, bad cop, whatever the case. But you took some time away. We talked about potentially bringing it back. What was the what was that point where you thought to yourself, you know what, you can actually come back and deal with this all over again? What's going to be different this time around for you?
Because I had 15 names. I literally, when the server came back, I clicked invite members and clicked 14 names straight away. Ping, 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 ping. Yeah, nice. It's coming back, and they all joined back. Okay, we lost 2. One was for mental health. The other one, I don't know. Don't really know. Still don't know. He hasn't messaged me yet. But, I had the names there because we still carried on playing divs or whatever else. When I'm on TikTok, they're still coming into the live chats and still talking to me, and we sort of gathered that group of friends there. I know it sounds weird because it's online and you don't meet them and all that sort of thing. You don't go for a beer with them and all that sort of life, but they're still mates.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they people say to talk about how you're feeling and things like that, and it's so much easier when it's not, you're not quite a stranger, but you're not quite a real life mate. You know what I mean? You're in that middle there.
Absolutely, mate.
So,
absolutely. I mean, I think it does help. Just to sort of move on from that, it does actually help a lot because, especially when you feel that you're wanted as well. It's like, people are harassing. Yeah, come and play. We spent a year playing with each other, like, in different various teams, different levels of games. But I think for me, where it sort of broke down was when we started looking at competing, because it got to a point where we just couldn't seem to get through that bottleneck. And no matter how many teams came onto into our server, we just couldn't get it. And then for me, it kept doing my head in because I was bringing personal mates in who were leaving the server. And it's like, but I stayed. One thing I always tell people is I'm quite proud of the fact that I stayed loyal to Team Street for the length of time I did, because we had to go through a lot of stuff, and it was very easy.
We were FGL teams before Team Street, so it's been a lot longer than what we're actually saying.
Right, exactly. But I think the fact that you had the 15 names, and I'm talking now to a variety of managers out there who I know for a fact are going through something similar. We still get the DMs, from all these other managers. And let me put it out there as well, Billy, because that's something I think we should talk about, is what we've done or what we did and what you did, what you brought to the table. Some people who have left our server, we're still close with, we're still friends with, have gone ahead and utilized those examples, those things that we implemented, the respect, making sure that you turn up on time, ticking or at least explaining to us if you're going to be late. I mean, I'm a part of a team now called RB Rampage who are going to win that league. And KJ and Mo, and I'm hoping that, I'm going to put it out there. I'm hoping that they don't mind me mentioning their names. But I know for a fact that there are elements of what you brought into the esports gaming world in terms of structure that they actually still utilize today. They may not admit it. Well, one of them may not admit it openly, but the fact is, I'm in there and I can see it happening. And it's good to see. It's very good to see that people have come away and seen what we've done and put it elsewhere. Now they're going to go and achieve something based on what they've learned elsewhere. Yeah, they've maybe bettered the process, but they've done good things, and that is very good for your mental health, particularly in the esports world. So, I mean, Billy, you talk about the fact that when you were away, were you getting messages for you to come back, or were you just insistent on making sure you're going to make it a very intimate cycle when you did come back?
It had to be a small group. As I say, we tried. I'm trying to think. I think we had four different leagues, didn't we? And we struggled on the Thursday with the England League. Big time struggled on the on the Thursday with the England League. And it's for me now. It's hard to find a set amount of leagues to play in. So I think it's number of days is sort of how big your squad becomes. Obviously, people playing other leagues and things like that. It's hard to get the balance. I think that's where we sort of went wrong. As I say, we ended up, I think we had a squad of like 28. I want to say 28.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you do get a couple of people that either come in with the wrong attitude, or it's in the Discord chat, or, and people go quiet because they don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
And it goes quiet, and you end up being the only voice in here going,
what's going on? Yeah, exactly.
And the person being miserable, or person being, negative or toxic or whatever, is the only one chatting. And the whole team just goes flat. It's just absolutely flat. And you see the difference in the game and everything else. We've got to remember, playing these 11v11s is, for me, it's got to be sociable as well. We've beaten, shall we say, the big boys on PGS. We've beaten them, I think, all of them, at some point. And we get underestimated all the time, which probably helps us, to be fair.
Absolutely. I love it, mate. I don't mind.
But if we got one of them on the third game, and we've had two bad games, and people are being negative and being, destructive or whatever,
yeah,
you can see in that final game where one of the big boys takes us for 3-0, and we're like, yeah, that was terrible. It's because of the attitude. The attitude's got to be better. It's got to be up there, high. At the end of the day, we've got to remember that we come onto this to be, socialise, play FIFA, have fun, chill out. we don't want to be smashing up controllers and putting your hands through walls and things like that.
Yeah.
We don't come on for that.
Which you've all done. I mean, this is my 5th headset. It's my 5th headset, mate. So it's all good. You know,
right.
and I've got like 10 of these. But
I need a
no, I mean, but I just want to break away quickly into the chat box. It's pretty busy. Obviously, Cozy's doing his bits. Big shout out to Cozy, by the way. He's doing some massive things in the background, particularly in the tournaments. So if you've not entered any of the tournaments, please do, because you're missing out. But Cohen, I'm hoping I pronounced your name right, mate. Good evening. Hope you're well. Great topic to discuss, lads. Definitely something that needs covering these days. You know, Cohen, I appreciate you mentioning that, because this is something that I've been quite vocal about for a long time. Well, since I started working on or doing this podcast with Billy, especially diversity, making sure that there isn't any bullying or anyone taking the mick online on a continuous basis. I know for a fact that within Team Sweet, if that happens, Billy's quick. He doesn't even need to be told. It's Ellis remove, or he just moves himself. But what's really quite frustrating, and I had this situation come up when I was doing the International Women's Month conversation, is, you know, I've reached out to a lot of people who are willing to talk about their own issues with mental health, but don't want to give me a soundbite or don't want to sort of come on air to talk about it. And I appreciate this is not for everyone, but give me some soundbites. Let me shout you out. Let me talk about what you were willing to talk about, because only by talking about these issues are we going to, you know, dispel them and completely remove them. I want to shout out Richard Howes, aka Monk, aka Giveaway Penalties. AKA he's gonna cuss me later, isn't he? I remember do you remember when Monk came on and he's literally just started swearing. He thought he was in a pub, wasn't he? So what's going on?
He's good, absolute cracker.
Luckily, we weren't on visuals yet, so that was good. But welcome aboard, Monk. Good to see you, mate. So Billy, in terms of your decision to come on then back onto the PGS platform, you could have gone onto any other platform. Why the PGS? Considering our record as well, it seems sweet.
Well, I'm sure people are bored of me mentioning this, but you go onto some of these other communities, leagues, or whatever. The PGS by far have better admins. That's as simple as, you got an issue, it gets dealt with. Also, the app is so much easier than some of these other leagues. You know what I mean? It's just a lot easier.
I mean, I'm in a few other leagues as well, and I don't understand what's going on. And you know, I like recording my stats. So, yeah, go on. Sorry, mate.
But no, I mean, you don't see as much toxic behavior in the chats and things like that. I mean, you go into some of these others, and we're a big part of one before PGS, and it just got too much. Even the admins were toxic, and I was just like, gone. See you later. But that's why I like PGS. I don't really have any issues with PGS, to be honest. And it's when you got no issues, it just makes your job easier at the end of the day.
Absolutely. On that note, with the admins, I want to shout out all the PGS admins. I mean, I know a lot of you, but I don't want to really call out names because it won't be fair. I'll be getting DMs later. Isaac, you called out Vincent, but didn't call out my name. So I've called out Vincent. Well done, mate. So I mean, I'm glad that you said it as well, because obviously if I'd said it, it would just be biased, but it's a fact. I just for a note as well, I recorded my stat, I think it was last week, 2 days late, and they still recorded on my goal scoring chart. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Nothing to do with the fact that I host a PGS podcast, of course. But we're going back into the chat. Let's see who's in here. So big up Gary Lovelace. Big up to all everyone who's messaging us. I want to shout out also Harvey, one of our pro gamers on the PGS site. Harvey's he's been invited back to Wembley for the finals. I don't want to say too much, but he's going to be repping PGS, and he was quite excited to be getting all his goodie bag bits from the PGS and James and Stephen. That, so big up to the guys. Thank you so much. If you've just joined us, we are discussing. So just as you know, in terms of a bit of exciting news for the PGS have now been partnered up with Bullies Out, who are a charitable organization basically look after anti-bullying. Established in 2006. Their main priority and goal in life is to kick out bullies. And if you go onto their website, bulliesout.com, if you need any advice or any help, if you're a parent, your kids moan about bullying, etc., please make use of that information because it can actually save lives potentially. So we are now talking about, the on Manager's Corner, we're talking about Billy. We're talking about Team Sweet. Obviously, Billy's for the mental health side of things. We're talking about how he manages that and decided to come back onto the PGS platform. But notwithstanding, before we go back onto Billy, I think we've lost him, but we're going to come back to him shortly. What I want to do is I want to continue to talk about the tourneys that we've got coming. So Cozy has begged me to mention this, and if I don't, I'll be in trouble. So I'm going to do this right now. So upcoming tourneys, on Wednesday the 29th is the 9 series finals. So if you haven't signed up, please sign up. Also, quick announcement. I will repeat this later before the show ends. The PGS have just signed a new player, and his name is Clang Banger. And I'm pretty sure he's a very good player with a name like that. Well, he better be. Right, coming back to Billy. Welcome back, mate. Lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, I clicked chat and it kicked me out. What's that all about?
Well, that's cool. No problem. We've got you back, so it's good. So listen, we've been told now that this subject matter is a very important one, and something that we should talk about more. Obviously, we don't want to make it too serious, but we do know that serious issues do happen on our platform on a daily basis. Billy, with regards to yourself, I mean, I know you say that the PGS platform, obviously you prefer it to others, but I mean, going back to yourself, do you now feel that coming back onto the platform and making it intimate, would you consider entering other leagues, or are you completely happy with the way things are running now? I mean, we've only played 3 games or 2 games with 1 default, so we just don't know what the future holds, but are you a lot more confident at this point in time than you were prior after what you've seen?
I'm a lot more confident on my DMs going nuts after games and during games and before games and whatever else.
Sure.
Going forward, I still work away Monday to Friday, so I don't want to play in a league that I can't play in.
Sure.
At the moment. Even though, as I say, it is a close-knit team now, sort of know where we're playing, everything else. Yeah, at the moment it's a no. We have started well in Sunday League. Yeah, as I say, it's just it's going to be a sort of slower build up, I think.
Yeah,
going forward.
No, that's good. That's great. I mean, while we're here, it's good to shout. I mean, look. I mean, it's not just about the Team Trees. I mean, there are loads of clubs out there, the Baffins, the total footballs who have been around for years, donkeys, longer than ours. But we always ask the question: is what drives those managers? Because there are only singular parties that seem to, even Sweaty Hippo and Mud Dogs. He's been running that club for 6-7 years. So the question is that what keeps these guys going? Yeah, there are going to be times where they take some time out and they come back, but they always come back to the platform, which is great, I guess. It's almost like the prodigal son coming back, or daughter, whichever choice you want to prefer. But I guess from a community point of view, do you feel that in our community that what we are talking about is going to happen everywhere? So it's going to happen everywhere. But in terms of our community, how do you feel that we are combating these issues the minute they happen? We had a recent situation with racial slurs, etc., etc. I don't want to pick out particular examples right now, but generally speaking, are you comfortable with the way these issues are dealt with at source?
Absolutely. I mean, it's quite good when I think both Team Sweet and PGS are very similar. There's certain things that are straight, see you later. Yeah. And that's what it's got to be. There's certain things you can't give people yellow cards for. It's got to be a straight red. Yeah. Simple as. And I think that's it's a good way to deal with it. In a team's perspective, I think where we are now is good because, as I say, 2 people have dropped out, but we can slowly add one by one.
Sure.
And that makes our team easier if we're just adding one by one rather than taking on 5 or 6. Those 5 or 6 get picked for the first game because we're short.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't go the right way.
No, absolutely.
Takes 1 or 2 of them, doesn't it? It takes 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Go negative just because we go a goal down, and then it's just that's it. It just kills the whole league.
It does. I think. I mean, okay, so I guess another question is, and this comes from one of our members, what makes a good team click? Because ultimately we had a debate before, and the debate was you can't win with friends. If you want to make it social, I get that, but surely it's about the competition, right? Because no one wants to finish bottom or third. You want to win something. So what's your rebuttal or retort or response to that?
I disagree with it. I still have my in real life friends in there, and I think that a successful team, you need that real strong nucleus. You need that 7 or 8 people that are going to play. Well, miss one day maybe of the season, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think we have that. Oh, this guy,
mate. 99% attendance, bro. Well, 97.5. Go ahead.
But it's that, isn't it? I think everybody now looks forward to Sunday League. I mean, I think I put the availability out on Monday, and
yeah.
by Monday evening I had 11 ticks.
That's what you want, isn't it?
A squad of 15, Well, sorry, 13 at the moment. No, 14. I took the keeper on, didn't I? The backup keeper.
Yeah.
But he's a returning player again. Another one that I have tried to get back before, but he came to me, which was great.
Which is good. Which is good.
But we know why he's a great addition. So
I mean, should I? Okay, so just interject quickly. Am I right in saying that we are now moving towards an invitation only application?
Well, no, we're now set up that if somebody drops out, like we unfortunately lost Asian, I can put an advert straight out for a centre back.
Okay.
And it's one addition. If you take one addition on, they're not going to overrule the other 10.
Sure.
And like with negativity or whatever, it's just a simple, all right, mate, we finished that game. you can't be like that. So you either change your attitude next game or
that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
I've got to be honest. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
When we had the multiple leagues, I think we had 4 leagues going at once. You can't really do that because you end up short for other days.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. People they're more available for certain days. And then like we saw on Thursdays, it was sort of, yeah, all right, I'll play. It was,
of course. It's not like I want to, yeah.
So it's difficult with a small group of players, but that's probably why these big teams have 100+ people in their Discords, because they're trialing all the time. They're recruiting all the time. And I can't go back to that way.
Absolutely not. I mean, but this is the solution you've come to based on your timeout and just reassessing the whole thing. I mean, ultimately, this is a passion for us. We love doing this. Sometimes we forget it's just a game, but it's the passion. You come away, you're like, especially when you're those with kids. I've come away many nights and I've looked at my son. I'm like, "Are you all right?" And he said, "Are you all right, Dad? Are you all right?" You're kind of like you've just lost money. You just lost the game. Behave yourself. That's my 12-year-old boy talks about that. But anyway, so I mean, it's good that you have a situation that you found some solace in just maybe having an intimate bunch of people that you know and trust. I mean, be honest with you, the bunch of the boys that we've got in there, you can rely on a lion's share of them, which is why you probably and girl, which is why you've invited them back. So that's a good look. One of the things that I think helped me was, and I think I hate the word threatening, but I was pre-warning you a lot of the times that I just want to focus on being a player. Being involved in too many things, it killed my game. I absolutely killed my. You know what I'm like with my game, Billy.
Yeah, but again, we talk about that, but that's why I had to step away from the podcast, because the team was absolutely in tatters, and I was just
it was.
I can't deal with this. So I'll try and focus on the team.
Indeed. I guess it's all about taking on what we can manage. So, advice to all the other managers out there, which is why you should always you can't do this alone. I think that's fact. We've established that, and I think the better run teams have a nucleus. Either if you've got a big squad of 40, I mean, why I don't know. Maybe you play multiple leagues, fine, but you've got to have more than 2 or 3 managers helping out. Otherwise, and every voice has to be one. Billy, I mean, it was difficult. I think it was difficult for us. I couldn't pinpoint why, But I always, that's why I said to you, you know, I would happily run the team, but you should pick the team. You should decide who does this because, again, it's one decision. Just because you can't be there doesn't mean to say you're not running it. And we tried that as well. Didn't necessarily seem to work as best as we wanted to. But, you know, and I think this intimate thing works better for me. I was actually one of those people. Remember, I was saying to you back in the day, oh, should we just invite these people and let's have a bigger server? You were like, nah, Isaac, relax, mate. Focus on being a player, just chill. And, you know, it all makes sense now. So I totally get where you're going. You know, in terms of generally then in life, I know that you've had obviously some life-changing scenarios. You know, you've moved on with things personally. Now, how are you feeling about just things in general, personally, as opposed to, because obviously that has an impact on what we do esports-wise, doesn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I tried a few different things work-wise, and then I ended up going back to doing what I'm doing now. I've played, and before I was happy in my job. I love my job, but the money was just not cutting it. And when you got financial stress, and then you got people messaging me saying, "Oh, I want to go," you know, it's
not like, it's like what?
Jesus, exactly. I'm this much in debt, and you're worried about
you're not getting in.
Worried about playing CF instead of strikers.
I'm in tears, mate. What have you done to me? Oh my god!
I've actually got a squad of 15 strikers. You know.
Oh, mate. I'll tell you what, that period as well, when you were, I mean, we both, like I said, we kept in touch. I mean, there was a period where I wasn't working. And not because I couldn't get a job, it's just because I just didn't want to do anything else but try and focus on this. And it wasn't, I think I got my electric bill. I'm like, yo, you remember that job offer you gave me last week? He's saying. But listen, I mean, just going for, I think, coming back into what we're doing on the show, I think I'm still in tears, mate. It's mad. But I think you know, within the esports world, I appreciate that we are competitors, but sometimes we have to remember that, you know, it's a game and our mental health takes precedence. I mean, I found myself caught up with people when they just talk rubbish, and I switch back, and I'm like, and so when I think about it, I think, oh, Zach, man, you didn't have to even, do you know what I mean? You could just get quiet, but if you keep quiet, then they carry on talking nonsense, and you're thinking, well, where does it stop? Then you're hoping that the manager comes in and says, right, guys, stop it. I mean, how would you handle something like that? Because you and I both know that we have dealt with straight characters in our server that we know are a little bit tentative, a little bit soft, don't want to do too much. But then how do we protect them from what's inevitable within a game, you know, when someone wants to sort of launch out or whatnot?
See, that's a difficult one because obviously everybody's different. Everybody wants to do different things. I mean, just talking about the people that as I say, I've put the post out to try and cover the 2 positions we lost. And the responses I got were ridiculous because these are people that I've seen in free agents a lot, jumping clubs left, right, and centre. And all they talk about is virtual trophies, and we got to remember that these are virtual trophies. Yes, we all want to win. We all want to win, but do you want to win in a bad environment? For me, I played for some big clubs. I mean, to be fair, Baffins were all right. I enjoyed playing for Baffins, but there was other big clubs that I joined the server, and I thought, I am not playing here. I don't care how many virtual trophies I get. I am not playing here. You know what I mean? Because they just let people run wild and do whatever they want to do.
Absolutely.
To be fair, when we had all those leagues going, and as I say, I'm pretty sure it was 28 people in the server, it was chaos to try and control it. Yeah, it was real chaos.
It was to be fair. It was to be fair, and it wasn't fair to bring managers in when you know that you're not really gonna get much out of them because it's just, what's there to do. No one's really gonna listen to you. Just I think when you have a problem of getting people into the lobby for a certain time. If they can't get there for the time you state and it happens on a repeated basis, then we have problems. And I think, like I said, from my personal point of view, I think what you decided to do was the best way. So if there's anyone else out there going for something similar, maybe just shave back a little bit, man, because you don't actually need 40 players in your server. They don't want to get.
You've got to enjoy the game. At the end of the day, you've got to enjoy your game first before you're thinking about virtual trophies. Enjoy the game first. we could lose a game tonight now, and we wouldn't be so negative as we were before.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Because we got the group of friends. We got the group of friends. I mean, the chat's busy. We got a little selfie room where we do stupid selfies and things like that. It's silly little things. That's why we do it. That's why we play. That's why we play.
I want to shout out to Ben Hurst. Real ones are in the lobby 3 hours before the game starts. Not that bad, bro, but yeah, something like that. Something like that. Shout out to KJ, manager RB Rampage. Yeah. What, me?
So KJ is one of those back in our server. He was one of those
straight away. You know, I don't want to embarrass him, but because he's manager now, so I don't want to embarrass him to people. But KJ, even KJ's journey as well, it shows what we preached at Team Sweet. We actually delivered. So KJ joined. I mean, I think Billy, you brought him in, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I don't know where he come from, but you know, he joined and he was just rubbish.
Yeah, we almost booed him straight away.
He was rubbish.
The only reason he's better now is because his right stick's worn down a bit.
The Boro King, he was terrible, and you know, but we were very patient with him. God bless him. And now look at him. He's like Ronaldinho. He's playing for England now as well. You know, Chambo can't get enough of him.
Well, it's Team Sweet. He's not poaching him.
He won't go there anyway. Oh, so Ben Hurst, Baba Cabin. That's who it was. How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. Looking forward to, teaming up in a short while. Billy, this has been great, man. I mean, look, you can see I'm still in tears. I'm trying to clean water out of my eye. It's not happening. We're actually talking about something quite serious here. Anyone who's joined, we're discussing KJ was blocked for 5 minutes. Wow. What do you do? We're discussing mental health and bullying. The PGS have partnered up with Bullies Out and vice versa. Great organization. They obviously, they deal with anti-bullying. They're a voluntary organization and charitable one. Bulliesout.com. Check them out. And if you've ever suffered from being bullied or know anyone who is, please reach out because it's good to talk. Not a lot of people are qualified enough within service. When you want to sort of talk about issues of this ilk, you may not get the response that you require back. And it may not be the person who you're telling is fault because they just don't know how to deal with these issues. But these are professionals. They know how to deal with it. If you want to reach out to even myself or Cozy, we can actually facilitate your instructions to them. But please do so because it's quite relevant. Now I've got Billy in, the legend himself, esports legendary man himself, to talk about his journey, because obviously started up Team Sweet. I wouldn't say folded. Folded is the wrong word. Took a break. Took a sabbatical for a bit due to a breakdown, I guess, in terms of what we're trying to do. And obviously, and I can appreciate you did that as well to maybe stop any more issues happening because it was just getting bad, wasn't it?
Well, the thing is, the negative can grow. If you keep feeding the negative, it will just go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So sometimes you just got to just jump out, cut out the dead wood, refresh. I mean, my inbox still went mental about, when's Team Sweet coming back? When's Team Sweet coming back?
Yeah, of course.
Come on, we can't find a team. Can we get Team Sweet back and all this sort of thing?
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what? I don't know why I stopped us on Sunday League. Can't think why at all because it was our best league. We finished third. We always finished up near the top end. So we're back in that. But it was an obvious choice for me. Obviously, trying out for all these other teams, all these issues in these servers that I don't understand how can be let to carry on. I do think that there are issues in these servers that will eventually destroy it somehow. You'll see these clubs just drop down the list.
Well, it's happening already. I mean, we've had some major shakeups, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you had the big merger, didn't you? And it all just fell apart.
Exactly. We'll mention any names.
No, but that might be too many chefs in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, it's. I think ultimately, what we're boiling down to ultimately is that we're trying to make our community cleaner, healthier. I know, even if you look at the PlayStation, for instance, or EA, I mean, I know they have certain rules and regs and whatnot, especially within light of all the terrible issues that have happened, people losing their lives and stuff. But I think with the PGS, one of the things that I know for a fact, because again, it's not always right and it's not always the best way to deal with issues, but I despise bullies online because I think to myself, you're online. What is that actually makes no sense. Secondly, I despise people who just want to come on and just cause havoc. I mean, it's a team game. So, I'll give you a prime example just quickly, a little antidote for anyone listening now. So, again, I've mentioned one of the teams that I play for. I don't want to keep mentioning their name because it's not about the team. It's about, the process and what we're going. So, when I joined, when they asked me to play with them, and I said, yeah, because obviously I respect them both, I joined. They had a striker there who was just doing a whole heap of madness. It was like he was just playing for himself. And I kindly said to, the manager at the time, I said, look, I'm happy to play for you guys, but this guy is actually disrupting the momentum of the team. It's ruining the team ethic and ethos. And actually, lo and behold, they could see it themselves and they got rid of him. What happened when they got rid of him? Things actually started to flow. We started winning games, not because one person left, but because the dynamics became a team again, as opposed to one individual player. Now, it was a shame that a player had to be removed for this to happen. But this is what I believe should go on in every single server. It goes down to play styles, not just being vocally, irrelevant or negative, but also the way you play can cause a negative vibe sometimes. I know I'm king of speeches, but Billy, in terms of that particular example, it's rife out there, and I know that you're very good at stomping these things out. I mean, do you have any other anecdotes you want to share with us on that?
I used to get a lot of negativity about two people that I used to have before I joined PGS.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say their names, but when I talk about it, you'll know who I'm talking about.
Of course, absolutely, yeah.
Both of them used to play striker. Both of them can finish absolutely perfectly. But my God, my DMs went absolutely mental about the passing, the skill moves, everything. It killed gameplay, killed the game, killed the attack. Unfortunately, I moved. One of them went back to DM, and the other one went back to goalkeeper. The goalkeeper we lost, but he was great goalkeeper. To be fair, as soon as I moved him back there, I think he played in every team as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But it's hard to deal with that negativity about people, especially when they're doing a good job. One of them was, the top goal scorer in our team, and he was also the I think it's about the 5th or 6th top goal scorer in the league.
Yeah.
And I was getting DMs about this bloke.
About him.
He's not good enough. It's just one of them, man. It's hard to deal with, especially all the pressure you get. But again, that is a consequence of adding all these new people all at once.
Yeah.
All these trialists in at once.
Yeah.
I mean, they say you can't have a group of your team, a group of friends. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to get real with your mates. I'm sorry.
And that's what it boils down to, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. If they keep peeing you, I'm a striker, and you go, sorry, man, I don't believe you are. You've got to be that tough. You've got to be that tough.
Yeah.
You have.
But they've got to take it. They've got to take it. They'll be able to take it though, Billy.
Yeah.
I mean,
you either listen to how I want you to play that position, or you got to go play somewhere else.
Absolutely. No, that's fair play. I mean, I'm glad you didn't mention any names, mate, because we're about to go into some games later. That'll be the most awkward party ever. But listen, Billy, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I feel like we've literally overran on time in terms of what we wanted to discuss. And first of all, I'm glad that you shared some of your personal bits as well. It's not always easy to do that, but it's for the better good and a greater good. And anyone else listening, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who's going to benefit from your journey. So thank you so much, mate. And I'm looking forward to our games tonight. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that, mate. Cheers. Right. So in terms of the rest of the show, what we want to talk about now is just maybe some shout outs. So I mean, I'll be remiss if I didn't shout out some of the teams that I play for. So I know they're all watching. So Pepper Pills, Mud Dogs, we Rampage. How you doing, boys? VPG Holland. Can't forget my guy Vincent. He's been so welcoming with me. But these are some of the good guys in our server. Sorry, I've still got tears flowing out my eyes from our server, and I'm sure that there are other similar positive individuals on many servers. But I think most importantly, this particular show and many shows of its ilk will be about how we protect and look after our community. And if you're a part of this community, you have every responsibility to make sure that your colleagues, your friends who are in the same community are being treated right, are being handled right, and are behaving right. You know, we've all got the responsibility. And please, if I'm not handling my business, I expect someone to tell me about it. You know. But if I can just bring Cozy back in quickly, because we're about to end the show. But before we end the show, a couple of bits we want to mention that I think is relevant for our continuous ongoing success. Hello there, mate. You're right. Great connection. You got the goggles on. Cozy, I managed to talk about some of the tourneys that the tourneys you've been running. Can you just share with us the upcoming one and prizes, etc. before we leave?
Yeah, so on Wednesday, we've got the 9 Series final. Now, unfortunately, people won't be able to enter that one because I've had 32 people every week battling out for 8 weeks to be part of that one. So the finalists from every qualifier will be in that one.
Woo!
So that's 16 players.
Yep.
So yeah, we've run some humongous tournaments recently.
Nice.
So a big shout out to everyone that entered those. On Thursday, we are hosting a PS5 Comp Cup because that's 2v2. And unfortunately, that is only open to people that have the comp servers. Last week, this went really well. We had eight duos, so 16 players. This week, we're looking to get 16 teams.
Yeah.
So 32 players, which would be really cool. We've had the return of Xbox. Now, it's been a long time coming. My roots are Xbox, so it's quite close to my heart. But we've had a real influx of Xbox players, and they've been saying, "Colsey, why aren't you running me a tournament?" And I said, "Well, okay, I'll do one then."
I'll do one.
So
Exactly.
I did, and here we are. So we did one on Saturday that went really well.
Nice.
That was run by Clang and Lewis. Big thank you to you guys, and they'll be doing that again this week. So yeah, some exciting stuff.
Big up to the boys, to the crew helping out Cozy, supporting the cause. Big up to you, Cozy. You know, these tourneys are doing special bits. So I want to continue in that success, in that mode. Big up to the sponsors, Controller Mods, Real Foot Cards. Thank you so much. I mean, that's not it. There's going to be more. Do we have an exclusive talk on prizes, giveaways for this particular tourney, or am I being a bit too hasty here? Do I have to wait?
Yeah, I can let you know all the prizes.
Okay,
so
perfect.
on Wednesday, for the guys that have battled their way through to the finals, they are up. It's a £45 prize pool. So that is £30 to the winner and £15 to the runner-up. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all, mate. Not bad
and then
at all.
on Thursday, £50 on the line. £50.
Okay.
And that is £25 each to the winners. So
all right. Let me just make a quick note.
And then
£50.
Xbox of the weekend will be a £15 prize pool. And as more tournaments get run, more people join the server for Xbox, we will increase the prize pool.
Absolutely. Cozy's been very busy. I mean, we were meant to have a meeting this week, and because of his busy nature, I wasn't able to catch him. So, but keep him busy because that's what we want. These tourneys are running weekly. He's doing a fabulous job. Cozy, big up yourself, mate. I like what you're doing there. Some real work going on. And I think, again, just similar to what I was talking about with Billy, a lot of the work that we do in the backgrounds goes amiss because people just see the final results. But this is a full-time effort. So, and we're only too pleased to continue doing it, to bring all this content to you guys. Before we go, we've been working in the backgrounds, and part and parcel of what we were meant to be discussing in our meeting is the foot show, and there's going to be a gazillion giveaways, loads of content for everyone to look forward to. But listen, I want to thank before I go quickly, or before we go, sorry, I just want to rehash on the winners of the last 20 because I felt it was a little bit rushed early at the beginning of the show, and we might have some new viewers listening now. So I'll start from the top. We had 58 entries to the Controller Mod sponsored tourney, PS5 tourney last Thursday before. And that was won by Cole Han Hobb. Well done, brother. Hopefully we'll get you on the show next time. In fact, that's a must. We're going to get you on the show. Sunday the 12th of June, we had a Real Foot Card sponsored PS4 tournament. That was won by Owen Mulligan. 14. Owen, want to see you on the show as well. Cozy, make it happen, please, sir. And Thursday, the 23rd of June, we had a 2v2 Comp Cup PS5. That was won by Many98 and Hearty XL7. And Saturday, 25th, the first Xbox One tournament, a maiden tournament, that was won by KCAV7. Now, what I would like to happen here is I want all of these winners to message us, or we'll message you. Don't worry about that. And we want to get you on to the next show. And if you don't get you onto the next show, we're going to get you onto the next foot show, which will include all our giveaways, our guests, special guests as well. And we're really excited about this going forward. But listen, I want to thank Bullies Out. I want to thank the gaffer, the man himself, Billy, BTK, Team Sweet, for coming on and talking about his journey, talking about the platform and the success he has with his new beginnings. And that was really good of him to do, because, you know, not many people would do it. So thank you, sir. Really appreciate your time. I want to shout out everyone that's been shouting us out in the chat, helping us out. I want to shout out Cozy, because, you know, this won't happen without him in the backgrounds. And, you know, the CEOs, the ones that make it happen for us, James, Stevie, all the admins. Keep doing what you're doing. Look after yourselves. Enjoy the tourneys and leagues that you're in tonight and for the rest of the week. And we'll see you soon. Take care.